Hey YouTube, this is Sanam and welcome back to my channel Public White Geek. We were working on the weather app and part 1 and part 2 is already up. This is the part 3 video. In this we are gonna learn about the location manager and how to pull out the location from device, a physical device, and pass it on to our API and get the uh, weather detail for that particular location. Right, so let's get started. Alright guys, so this is what we have done till now. We have set up the current weather UI. We have used the API with static location and we are updating the same in our UI as well, all the data that we are pulling out from the API. And now we're going to set up the location, how to use the location and pull out the location from the device and send it to our API. Okay, so in order to do this, we need to go back to our info.plist and uh, we need to provide a couple of keys, which is the usage description that we are informing our users that we will be using their location, right? So make sure in the last uh, key, which is app transport security settings, which you should have enabled if you check out the second part of this series. So make sure it's not open, it should be closed, and then you click on add button, this add button, and now you can either scroll down or you can type privacy usage description. So if you go down, it says privacy usage description, location usage description. You can say please allow, and one more we need to set, that is privacy when in use. So we want to make sure that we are using GPS only uh, when this app is open. We don't want GPS to keep on consuming battery. Even if your app is not on or a user has not yet opened your app, you don't want to keep on using the GPS, right? It's going to heat up the device and it's going to consume a lot of power and users are going to uninstall your app. So let's set this to please allow as well. Right, so location usage description when in use and normal usage description both is set. Now do a command build. Let's also run the project and let's head back to viewcontroller.swift. Uh, so we're gonna need a special class, not a special class, a class for location. So where we can store the latitude and the longitude. We can use it. We can do it using the struct as well, but then we will have to create a shared instance of our view controller, which is not a good idea at all. So it's better that we uh, create a separate class for it and create a shared instance of it so that we can use it in different classes, right? So as you can see, our project is running. This is what we have done till now, and now our job is to change this shoes ng to the actual location. Right, so I'm going to go back to model and create a new file and Swift file, and let's call it location. Import foundation is fine. We can go and say class location. We don't need any super class. So we need to create a shared instance or like a singleton, right? So that this particular variables within this class can be accessed anywhere. Let's go like this. So static var shared instance, and then you're gonna put the name of the class location like this. Right, so putting static var shared instance shared instance is equal to location. So what we are doing is we're creating a singleton class, so that is we will only have one object uh, across the whole app for this particular class. So location class will have only one object, right? So you cannot create any more objects of this class, and we are sharing that object with every other class so that they can put the data or retrieve the data from that particular object only. Now let's create our variable. So where longitude of type double and var latitude of type double. That's all we need for the location class, and let's head back to our view controller.swift and let's create the variable for the uh, variable which is gonna hold our location. So which is gonna be in order to use this location, we need to import a framework called core location, right? So now we have the capability or ability in our app to use the core location service, which will allow us to use GPS. Along with this, we also need a location manager delegate. So what location manager delegate does is it gives the permission to our location manager. Location manager is like a manager that we hire, and we tell him that okay, these are the things you need to do, and then that manager will do those things under the hood for us, but we still need to give him the instructions that okay, go get the device location, and your location should be within these many kilometers. All those things we'll just tell the location manager to handle it, and then it's location manager's job to get the information. Right, so let's do it. uh, let location manager is actually going to be cl location manager, and then current location, this is going to be of type cl location. So current location will hold the the latitude and the longitude coordinates, and location manager is the manager which will help us retrieve those information from the device. And since we have created this location manager, we need to give him the authority to act on our behalf, right? So we need to create a delegate for that. So let's set up a function here called delegates. I like to keep it in separate functions so that it doesn't clutter the whole code. It's called location manager dot delegate is equal to self. Now our location manager, let's also do this, called delegates. So now our location manager has the authority to act on our behalf in this application. Right. So in order to use or to get the location from the device, we need to get the permission from the user. We cannot just go ahead and start using the GPS. The user has to give us the permission. So first we ask for the permission, and if user has not given the permission, we again ask the permission. If user has already given the permission, then we just make a check that user has given the permission, and then we can go ahead and download the API, and then the API data, and then also update the UI if user has given us the permission. So that's what we are going to set up now. So let's create a function called setup location. Right, and in this function we're just going to say location manager dot desired accuracy. So the accuracy that we want for our location, it should be best location. So there's an option for that. So KCL location accuracy best. So you can set it up as per the kilometers, or within 100 meters, or within 3 kilometers, within uh, something best for navigation. So they have all those options available. So we're gonna go with the accuracy best, right? And then location manager dot request when in use authorization. So whenever our app is open, only then raise a request uh, to, I mean, you're informing, or you're telling the location manager that only use the GPS when your app is open, right? So when your app is in use, only then use the location, and get the authorization only for that purpose. Don't take the authorization for using it full time and you're using it only while your app is open. So you should not do that. So request when in use authorization. And the last one is going to be location manager dot start monitoring significant location changes. So now we are also informing our location manager, okay, our app is open and you are authorized to use the GPS, but don't just keep on using the location, uh, don't keep on using the location every second, or don't keep on using device GPS resources every second. Rather, only pull down, or only get the location latitude and the longitude values when you see a significant changes in the distance. So Apple does all this under the hood. So it keeps on tracking if there is a significant change or not from our current location, right? So if there is significant change, then it's gonna get the new values and then update and get the API and all that, API data and all that stuff for us. Right. So let's also call this function now. Setup location. So our location manager is all set. We have instructed our location manager what to do and how to do it. Right. Now let's set up another function. Let's call it location auth check. So this is the function where we are going to check if we are authorized, or if the user has given us the permission to use the location. If user has given us the permission, then we will go ahead and send the location data to API, and then we will download the API data and update our UI. If user has not given us the um, authorization to use the GPS, then we are going to keep on asking user to give us the authorization, because our app is not going to work without the longitude and the latitude values. So in order to do this, we're going to first create a check. CL location manager dot authorization status is equal to dot authorize when in use. Okay, so if user allows this, then we can go ahead and pass the location, or rather, this is what we're gonna do: get the location from the device, and then pass the location coordinates to our API, download the API data, and we will update the GUI after download is completed. Right, so these are the steps that we're going to follow if user has given us the authorization. If at all user is not given us the authorization, then all we need to do is location manager dot we have it right over here, dot request. So we're going to make a request, and then we will check the status again, right? So this is where we are requesting. So take permission from the user, right? or let's say here, user did not allow, and then make a check. Right, so this is what we are doing. So right over here we ask for the permission, and then over here we are checking if user gave us the permission. If he did, then we'll follow these steps. If user did not give the permission, then we enter the else block, and inside the else we will once again request our user to give the permission, and we will check it again. So we will go and call this function again, and we will check again. If user still did not give, then keep on asking. So it's kind of a loop over here, but if user gives the permission, then we enter this particular part of the code, uh, and we start implementing that. So let's try to run it, and let's see. We have not yet called the location auth check, so we need to call that function also. So you can see in the simulator, you can see that it's asking for the permission. So let's not give the permission for now, don't allow, right? And then we need to go here and say location auth check. So you are seeing this white screen because we did not give the permission, and that's why this is happening. And you can see we have not given the permission. So since we did not allow the permission, so it's showing us the white screen, and since it's a simulator, so it cannot give the actual location as well. So we'll go ahead and give it the permission manually, and then let's try to run the project. So we allowed the permission now, and all right, so you can see that our app is running, but the location is not coming up because, well, we are not sharing the, or we are not pulling out the location right now from the device. So since we're running it on simulator, so we need to do one more thing. Let's go to our hardware, and then we should have an option for or not hardware, but actually debug and location, and select Apple. So it will have Apple coordinates now, but we need to pull out these details from the device, right? So get the location from device. This is where we're gonna ask for the, or where we're gonna pull the location. So current location is equal to location manager dot location. So now our location is available inside the current location variable that we created, right? And we can do something like this, print, or like this, current location dot uh, coordinate dot latitude, and print current location dot coordinate dot longitude. So now if we try to run, we'll see the coordinates of Apple. uh, so you can see right over here we have the uh, latitude and the longitude, right? So we need to store these values. So we're going to store it in our location class. The object that we created was shared instance, so we're going to store it in that and then pass that value to our API. I'm going to delete this, and let's do location dot shared instance dot latitude is equal to current location dot coordinate dot latitude, and then location dot shared instance dot longitude is equal to current location dot coordinate dot longitude. So now our latitude and longitude are there inside the location class object, which is the shared instance object, and it will be accessible anywhere across the app. So command build, and let's head back to our extras. So this is where we are putting the static values, right? So let's delete this, do string interpolation, and let's add location dot shared instance dot latitude, and then for longitude we're gonna do location dot shared instance dot longitude. Now those values are passed into our API, right? So now we'll get the actual weather of Apple, but we need to change few things uh, before we go ahead and run it. If we try to run it, it's probably going to give us an error. So let me show that as well. So you can see it crashed because the API was still downloading, or probably you can say it didn't even have the latitude and longitude, right? Or it was either downloading, it was in the middle of downloading and we are already updating. So things like this will happen. So we need to make a control on this, right? So let's cut this one and put it in this section. So this is where we will do this, and this is where we need to download our API data. So let's remove it from our view did load and put it over here. So now once the data is downloaded, it will update the UI, and then this part can be covered up here, right? So after we have downloaded the data, we are updating the UI, all good, but we need to make one change. This location authentication we are doing on view did load, whereas we need to do it on view did appear. So only after the view is appearing, or it actually appeared, then only we will uh, request the authorization, right? So let's create this view did appear, and let's do our location auth check only after uh, the app has opened up. Then uh, we will check if we have the authorization or not, right? And let's remove it from here and let's try to run it. It crashed. It says nothing to geocode. That means our coordinates are not working properly. So let's go and check our view controller.swift. This looks good. This looks good. Oh, uh, this is optional, right? So let's go and check this. So yeah, this should be unwrapped, and let's try to run again and let's see now. These small things. Uh, oh well, it's, you can see it says Cupertino and it's 8 degrees Celsius, February 12th, and we have all the data coming down as well. Check this out on your device and it should work. Your location, your city location, it will pull out the data from from the Open Weather Map API, and it's gonna download the data and display it on the uh, current weather user interface. In the next video, in the part 4, we're gonna add the table view for the forecast weather, and we will use a different API endpoint from Open Weather Map itself for forecast weather, and we'll download the forecast for next 10 days and we'll display it in our app. The method is little different, and also we're going to use Alamofire only, not the Swifty JSON, so that I can show you the difference between Alamofire using a Swifty JSON with Alamofire and using Alamofire without Swifty JSON. So I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye. But please, please, please Do not forget to like this video and subscribe my channel.